वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीवन। और आज रक्षाबंधन के इस पावन पर्व पर आज हमारा ये जो वेबिनार प्रस्तुत हो रहा है आप सबके सामने, तो आप सबको जो भी हमारे व्यूअर्स हैं उन्हें हमारी तरफ से रक्षाबंधन की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। और दिस पर्टिकुलर वेबिनार सीरीज इज फॉर फीस्ट कन्वेंशन pre-event webinar series in which we are organizing a webinar Zoom session with the eminent speakers, scholars, researchers, educators from the field of tourism, hospitality, and aviation. Every day they are coming, starting from 15th August, and this series will last till 27th of September. Today we have with us a very special dignitary, Shri ARUN Kumar Singh Ji, Director, FHRAI, Institute of Hospitality Management, Greater Noida, and he is going to take this session on hospitality management education challenges and way ahead. Before I invite Sir in front of you, in front of our lovely audience, let me go through few slides and then we'll straight away go to Shri ARUN Kumar Ji. So I'm hoping that my slides are moving and you can see that they are moving. Okay, let me go like this. So we are presenting Digital Inspirational Lab, the innovative concept for making education and skills relevant, which also involves feast and providing capacity building, empowerment to service industry, and under this broader umbrella, every segment of service industry. And when we say Digital Inspirational Lab, this concept, of course, generated during pandemic, and we have taken it post-pandemic as well. Pre-pandemic, it was finishing school, and then it becomes Digital Inspirational Lab, and it involves curiosity, creativity, and lot many other aspects which are very, very important when we say the skill set of 21st century. And this is the basic idea behind Digital Inspiration Lab, and it encompasses the whole idea of sustainable development goals as well. Now coming to the feast convention, where from the feast evolved. As we have said, Digital Inspiration Lab is a very innovative idea for making skills and education relevant. So way back in 2021, the organizers, the creators, they thought that we have different aspects of organizations that are dedicated for this tourism industry, aviation and hospitality, whether IATO, Thai and whatnot. The screen is visible to you and you can see that. So we have list of many organizations, whether they are in India and abroad, but no such organization is there which is dedicated for educators in tourism, hospitality, and aviation. And from there, the thought comes to make a forum of educators and skill providers for tourism, hospitality, and aviation. And in 2001, it got established with policy, research, academic skills, technology training in services industry, and particularly to tourism, hospitality, and aviation. And this year, we are celebrating the 22nd annual convention of this forum, along with B2B Meet on 5th and 6th October in Bhubaneswar, Odisha, Hotel Sandy Towers. So this is the entire organizing committee of this particular convention. And these are the glimpses of the program for the 2 days, because this is for 2 days. And day 2, we have specifically dedicated to the educators, those who are shaping the skill set of the manpower required in this particular industry. And they will present few papers, their researches, their intellectual knowledge related to this particular topic. And we have framed 14 topics, and we will decide through the Zoom webinar series. We'll take selected research topics, which we can further present on 6th of October at the convention. So you can also, if you are seeing it first time, the list is there, the concept is there, number is there, you can ring us and you can get to know more about this. With this, Digital Inspirational Lab, making education and skills relevant, always says, and this always believes in innovation, in creativity, and whatsoever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And we have come a long way. It is 2098 webinar that we are doing today, and you can watch all the webinars on our YouTube channel. And if you like it, do share it and subscribe the channel also. And yet another day, yet another webinar, and a very interesting session going to be on hospitality management education challenges and a way ahead. Let me take you through the introduction of our eminent guest today evening, Shri Arun Kumar Singh ji. He has worked with IHM Jaipur as faculty, and before coming into the academics, he has also worked in the industry. So he has a good, ample amount of knowledge of industry academia, which is very much essential part nowadays. As we have seen in national education policy also, they have stressed, they have focused on the people, those who are trained in the industry, and they can come in the academia also and can train, can skill the people. So coming back to Shri Arun Kumar Singh ji's profile, he has worked with IHM Jaipur as faculty and then moved as principal to start the Food Craft Institutes, which was upgraded as State Institute of Hotel Management. In 2004, he joined Institute of Hotel Management, Lucknow as principal and moved to Institute of Hotel Management, Mumbai as principal in 2013. He got retired from services of Institute in December 2021 and joined FHRAI IHM Greater Noida as director. So having IHM with that prestigious body and sir's experience, we will going to get good amount of knowledge today for those who are aspiring to be in this field in hospitality and want to make their career in tourism, hospitality. And when we say hospitality, no doubt in aviations also. And he has been trained for faculty training programs in India, in Switzerland, and in USA. And he has attended several management development programs in India and abroad. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the guest of the evening, Shri Arun Kumar Ji, Director, FHRAI IHM Greater Noida. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you.
We are grateful that you are with us, sir, and we are eagerly waiting to listen from you about the topic.
Definitely, it is my second chance when I am attending this session, which has been curated by Mr. Gulshan Sharma ji. I am a great admirer of his attitude and his vision, because he is continuing with so many webinars from 2020 and is still continuing, adding on one session every day. So great enthusiasm in spite of his age. He is doing fantastic work for the tourism and hospitality industry.
Yes, sir. So should we take it like a question answer session, or should you present some kind of a initiative framework, and then we should come on to question and answer?
So let me go through the journey of hospitality management education in India.
Yes, sir.
And give you the salient feature of whatever development took place till now. And then you can add on by asking certain questions on that.
Sure.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Uh, so, as most of the people are definitely aware that the journey of hospitality management education in India has started in 1954. It was the same period when the best institute of hospitality education, that is Cornell Institute of Cornell Hotel School, was separated from Department of Home Science in 1954, and Institute of Hotel Management IHM or Institute of Catering Mumbai was formed in 1954. It was the same time when first IIM of the country, that IIM Ahmedabad, started it functioning in 1954 or 55. So you can very well get an idea that in 1954, there are good hotels or luxury hotels or the classified hotels in India. But at that time, even at that time, there were need of the experts, catering experts, because the All India Women Council, that was headed as a president by Leelavati Munshi Madam, they did some fantastic work at that time in 1954 or 50s or 60s about the some healthy snacks which is to be provided in different counters in Mumbai and Pune and some other part of the Maharashtra and other states. The purpose of that particular counter, which was known as Annapurna, was to help the people to overcome the malnutrition that was the problem at that time. And that idea had clicked, and there were several number of Annapurna outlets started in Maharashtra and other states. And slowly the All India Women Council had felt that there is a need of trained person who can act as a supervisor in these Annapurnas. And that thought had came in the mind of Leelavati Munshi Madam. She was the co-founder of Bharati Vidya Bhavan at that time, along with her husband, Dr. K.M. Munshi. So she took the initiative, and she started a small institute in 1954 in Bharati Vidya Bhavan Andheri campus. And that was the first batch was having only 6 students. The institute was inaugurated in the month of June, probably 1954, by Mr. Morarji Desai, who was the Chief Minister of Gujarat and Maharashtra, because the bifurcation of the state was not there at that time. So he inaugurated that institute in 1954, and institute started functioning with the help of the 6 students who were there. And then slowly other people joined as a faculty. Miss Philip joined, and in between the Dr. K.M. Munshi, who was the founder of Bharati Vidya Bhavan and was closely observing the functioning of the Institute of Catering there in Bharati Vidya Bhavan, he became the Agriculture Minister of India. And when he took charge of the Agriculture Minister, he at that time started the functioning of to see that the institute is getting due response, or institute is getting due support from the other agencies. So he approached to the United Nations Food Organization, UNFO, and requested them to depute some expert who can help country to develop the hospitality or catering education in India. And fortunate to us, this Mr. Wilford Smith, who was one of the leading catering expert of his time in the world, he has been deputed for this task in 1966 and in 1958. And while working from the Andheri Institute, he started having a big plan for hospitality or catering education in India. And the first piece of land that was bought for the Dadar catering college in the Dadar itself. In 1963, the institute building started. 66, it has been shifted. And after establishing that institute, first institute of Southeast Asia for hospitality and catering management education, he has been asked by the Ministry of Agriculture to move to Delhi to start Institute of Hotel Management in Delhi, and thereafter Institute of Hotel Management at Madras and Calcutta. So he was the one who initiated the task, and it was very well taken by Miss Thangam Philip in 1966, the other catering college. So these were the pillars of hospitality or catering education, management education in India. And when Mr. Wilford Smith left India in 1972, he had a very clear vision and very clear roadmap. India was probably the first country of the world where the 4 catering colleges at regional level, Mumbai, Delhi, Madras, and Calcutta, were established by him. And not only that, he had a vision of starting food craft institutes in 9 different state capital of the India. So when he left India in 1972, India was having excellent infrastructure for training for the hospitality and experts at the managerial level. There is a diploma program, as well as the craft level diploma, some diploma which is to be offered in food production, the cookery, bakery, F&B service, housekeeping. Earlier, all these branches were not there, but several it has been added. So shortly it has been added. So definitely we should be thankful to Mr. Wilford Smith for his vision. And I read somewhere, and Ms. Philip has written that when once he had gone to the government office in Maharashtra, he came back. People were sitting in the lawn of the Dadar Catering College. And when Mr. Wilford Smith came, he said that I had a vision to start 3 more institutes in Delhi, one in Delhi, then Calcutta and Madras, and 9 food craft institute. As it has been written by Ms. Philip, that everyone started laughing, said that this poor man does not know how is not being able to pay our salary in Dadar Catering College, and thinking so big for establishing 4 IHMs as well as the 9 food craft institute. But with the passage of the time, whatever thought was there in his mind, that has been established, and India became the first country in the world which has such excellent support of government education, government in the hospitality and catering education, though at that time the number of hotels were limited. So the catering was the first area where people got the job. Then the hospitality came, hotels and restaurant came later. And now there are 21 central government institutes of hotel management and more than 30 institutes of state government in the field of hotel management which are being running. So altogether, more than 50 to 60 institutes of the government, either central government or state government, are offering hotel management education in the country. And most of the institutes are working in self-support mode. So they are not getting any recurring grant from the government of India. And then comes the 1995 and 96, when AICT started its operation for approving the government as well as private institutes in the field of hotel management with the 4-year degree program. And slowly flood of the private catering colleges started. As it happens everywhere, in the beginning, the AICT was also little liberal because they have to spread the hospitality education institute throughout the country. But after some time, they realized that having the underdeveloped institute will not work and will not work for the industry. And thereafter, they came out with the stringent rules, regulation by which the private catering colleges has been covered. So presently, we have large number of catering colleges. Either they are run by the university themselves, the state university or central university, or it has been run by the private organizations or the state and central government. So a very good and very good infrastructure of training in the field of hospitality has been created in these years. And the private and central government as well as the state government IHMs, all of them are basically working hard to see that the industry is getting required number of manpower for the purpose of hospitality training. So that was the thing about the development of hospitality education in India. At the same time, as industry matures, as the environment changes, the whatever technological development and human resource development and procedural changes are there, every institute or every organization need to adopt those things. So with the passage of the time, institutes are working on that front also they have, but we need to look into it that the syllabus is being changed regularly. It has been updated regularly. New teaching methods is to be adopted. Industry and institute have to work in a synchronization. Professional institutions cannot function alone. They have to be in the loop with the industry, and therefore we need to work more closely with the industry. Industry also needed to understand that the whatever effort of the government and institutions are there, ultimately industry and the students are going to be benefited with that. So industry should also have a broad mind in that way, because presently during COVID, lot of issues was there in the hospitality industry. People, jobs had gone, and that has shaken the confidence of the people who were working in this industry from several decades. So when after COVID, when the industry started business again, they were feeling and is still feeling the crunch of the trained and experienced manpower. I can say it that the industry is now coming back to the pre-COVID level, even cross the pre-COVID level business up to certain extent. But at the same time, there is a manpower crunch in the industry. Industry also needed to understand that these institutes which have been established by the government or the trust, they are meant for the providing trained manpower to in the hotel and restaurant and allied industry. And if industry is not being able to trap them or not being able to attract them, in that case, ultimately the loser will be the industry first. So a lot of people who had a great interest in the hospitality education, career in hospitality, all of them are looking to the industry and institute so that jointly they can shape the career of the students who are coming. Presently, no doubt, and I don't have any hesitation in accepting this, that in last 3-4 years, the enrollment in the hospitality management education has been dropped. Some efforts from the government as well as the private sector are going on, but all those efforts have not yielded the desired result. So everyone has to see that what best they can do, the industry, how they can participate and they can coordinate with the institutes. Government also need to intervene now to see that the 3 basic things which are being affecting the enrollment of the student and placement of the student in the industry. One is the entry level requirement. When the students are going for industrial training, it is needed that they should be taken with utmost care. They should be mentored by someone in the institute or someone in the hotel, because they are coming to that environment first time. They should not be used as a cheap labor in the industry. Their training, industrial training, should be seen as a chance for giving them the young mind the new career path. At the same time, industry also need understand that these students are basically coming to the hotel management education with a hope. So we all of us understand that we should not do anything which will affect and which will shatter their hopes while they are in industrial training. I can give you one example. When the students from the different management colleges like IIMs complete their first year, they go to the second year. In between, they go for the summer training. The hotel industry should also learn, and institute should also learn how these other industries are keen about these summer training students. They do the interview for the summer training and they pay them about 90,000 to 1 lakh rupee per month during the 2 months summer training. It is not that the training is important. Along with the training, they also observe that those students who are coming for the training, they are the young people with new idea, with new concept, which may not be there with the people who are already working in the industry from 20-25 years or so. So these youngsters have a very sharp brain. They have a very calculative steps that is needed to be taken, and they very closely observe them while they are in the industrial training only for 2 months, while we are sending the students for 17 weeks. And once those 2 months are being completed, industry is in position to decide that this person will be good for them in future or not. And all those persons who did well in the summer training, in students of IIM, they have been given pre-placement offers for the job by those companies where they have been trained. It's an excellent role model of industrial training, the say cohesiveness between the industry and institute. The same kind of thing we need to understand is needed to be between the institute and the hospitality industry, because ultimately the industry is going to be benefited by the youngsters if they are coming to this industry with a good attitude, good knowledge, personality, communication, and skill. So institute are shaping those students. Students are there full of enthusiasm, but industry need to take care of those students and let them enthusiasm should not die while they are in industrial training. A good exposure in industrial training, retaining the interest of the student in the trade will help them to give 200% after coming back from the industrial training to the institute, and therefore they will be ready for the serving the hospitality industry once they complete the program of 3 years in a much better and much bigger and much decisive manner. And the second, so the entry once the IT is completed and the students have been taken for the job, then the initial job needed to be relooked. The kind of job which has been given by the industry at present at the entry level to some of the people are supervisory or managerial. So they need to look into the entry level jobs which are to be offered to the hotel management graduate along with the emolument, because that emolument at the entry level, they cannot even live in the city, forget about the other requirement. If the students are going to get money from their parents to meet their day-to-day requirement while they are working, we all can understand what will be the mental level of those students who are asking money from their parents while they are serving the industry for 12 hours or 10 hours. So we need to look into it. The industry has to see the overall, the way industry looked into the manpower requirement after COVID. And most of the hotel chains and individual hotel have cut down their manpower requirement in a significant way. And in the same way, they also need to understand that these are the young people, these are the resources, and we need to attract them. And while attracting them, we need to help them and we need to give them a good initial start, good mentoring, and good working conditions. If all these things are being met, we hope that the students will come back in large number to the hospitality institutes, and ultimately they will go to the hotels. It's not only hotel and restaurant industry who are benefited by these trained students. When I was principal IHM Mumbai in 2018, 19 and 20, December 20, I retired. In these 3-4 years, we have seen about 25 to 30% of students are not going to the hotel and restaurant. They are going to the allied profession, maybe retail or banks or any other marketing avenues. But after COVID, the kind of treatment this student got from the hospitality industry, that was not encouraging, and the other organizations which are not from the hotel and restaurant, they are waiting for these avenues, and now about 40%, 35 to 40% students are going, and their initial start and working conditions are much better than the hotels and restaurants. So we need to open our eyes. Institute need to be in continuous interaction with the industry. Industry also need to understand that by losing the young talent who are being trained for 3 years by the hospitality institute to other allied industries will not be good for them. So, but ultimately it is responsibility of the institute and the students who are coming to us. The student need to give their 100% to the cause for which they are with us in the institute. And institute also have a responsibility to see that the latest trends, latest input, theory or practical, then the research, the innovation which is needed to be in this industry, the new technology is being adopted, proper exposure of the faculty who are taking the classes, and all these things have to be taken in a cohesive manner by the institutes, by the students, and by the industry. And government cannot run away from their own role of making a cohesive approach of all the stakeholders in a form that the better environment or better working conditions are being given to the students. And then I don't find any reason why the students will not come to this hospitality industry for a hospitality management education. and working working to the industry after doing that. We have several examples. We need to tap these students from the class 10th, 11th, and 12th. We need to give them the motivational stories. We have so many people who did hotel management program are successful in in hotels, in restaurants, not only successfully worked in the industry for 30 or more years and they're retired. We have resources of such a large number of trained and experienced manpower who can share their views, who can motivate these youngsters, and definitely in a planned manner with the help of the effort of the central government, Ministry of Tourism, as well as the state tourism departments. Then the affiliating body like the National Council, approving body like the AICT and different universities. If we all work together with the single aim to attract more number of students in hospitality education after class 12th, and then I am preparing them for the excellent good job in the hospitality industry. I am sure that effort of all of us will take us in a long way in the field of hospitality management. That was the Chitra. That was I want to say. So
Thank you, sir.
anything you want to add or you want to ask, you can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One or two questions I do want to ask, sir. So you have been into this particular industry for quite a long time, and you have seen that time also when it has started, and you have seen this time also when it has grown. So I just want to ask you that what are your views? You have seen that time also and today also. How you compare the quality of the students, the standards, and the attitude and the developments in this particular industry, in education specifically?
Right. Chitra, you see the education
Yes.
in hospitality education have changed along with the other education with the time. Lot of new things are coming, new technologies are coming. Earlier, there was only diploma program, then degree program had been offered. Industry also see a lot of development. So it's a continuous process. Development is a continuous process. And how fast and how smart we are in adopting those changes, the changes which are the expectation of the guest. Because earlier the guest had a limited movement. Now people are going abroad and looking at the service standard or the other thing in the different part of the world. So their expectations are very high. And in hotel industry, especially in the rooms, we are selling a perception. We are not selling anything which is physical. If a guest is coming to the hotel, is staying for 3-4 days, paying maybe 1 lakh rupees or more, at the end of his trip, he's not having anything physical in nature. He's having experience. So that's why it is a little bit difficult to that the expectation of the guest must be fulfilled. When we were a student, we read that the guest they should be happy. But later on, the dimension has been changed. If the guest is happy, that will not be enough. You have to delight the guest. Whatever is the expectation of the guest, if you are able to offer better than that, in that situation, you will be in position to retain the guest in future also. So all the time we have anyone who is working in this industry have to be very well adopted with the new technologies, with the new equipment or with the new system that is coming along with the, and but at the same time, he should also have the some human qualities, because human touch is always there in this industry, whatever technology will come. And India is probably the best country in the world where the personalized services has been offered to the guests. If you go to any other country, US or Europe, you won't find that kind of personalized service which has been given by the Indian hotels to their guests. So our hospitality services, personalized service is best in the world. We need to understand that the infrastructure is one part of it. The kind of infrastructure which is there in the hotel, it may be the room, lobby, all those equipment, everything. But the another component which is more important is how personally you are going to touch the guest and remember so that the guest can remember it for years to come. So we have that kind of excellent service. It may be either the Taj group of hotel or FHRAI group of hotel or ITC or any other group of hotel or the individual hotel. We are offering the excellent service, elaborate service to the guests. But we need to understand that without having the right kind of manpower, I am today emphasizing again and again on the manpower. If we close our eyes and we have this short-term the thing that we are getting a student from the skill center or something like that at the entry level, why should we take the student from hotel management background who did 3 years? So then what I feel, it's my personal feeling, that will not last long. We will lose this student in hospitality education. At the same time, industry is definitely going to lose the person who will be a good supervisor or good manager and will be there a asset for years to come to the organization. So that was the thing. We need always to be adaptive to the new changes, and if we will do that, definitely we will remain in focus, and we will get a right kind of attitude response from the industry also.
Anji, thank you, sir. Thank you for that answer. I would also like to ask you, sir, we generally has a perception about IHMs that they are basically like a hotel has two segments. One is the operation part and one is the services part, the production and the services. So IHM are usually perceived as an institute which are more focused, more oriented towards training students in production and less towards services and skills. Is this perception correct? And if it is not, what skills or what skill setup, like I'm talking about finishing, some kind of a finishing school, some kind of a setup for skills are there in IHMs for grooming in front office and other services?
Right. In fact, no doubt the food production is the strongest area of the IHMs, but at the same time, IHMs are giving due emphasis to the room division as well as the food and beverage service. And you'll be happy to know, not only this, IHM has given students to the allied areas like the marketing, HR, and even finances. I know some of the people who are heading the revenues. One of my students from IHM Jaipur, Chinmay Sharma, he was the he was the chief revenue manager of Taj Group of Hotel few years back. So students who are liking of the digital marketing or the finances or maybe the HR or the revenue, good number of people, if you go to any good hotel and if you find out the persons who are working in the revenue department, you will find half of them from the hotel management background who did hotel management program, because they have the better concept of the hotel management services. They understand the value of the services which are to be offered to the guests. So therefore, either it is a digital marketing or HR or or you can say the revenue department, everywhere you will find the hospitality graduates along with the room division as well as front office, housekeeping and F&B service and food production. No doubt food production is, again I will say, is a area which has given name and fame to the institutes. We have seen all the celebrity chef, you look at all of them are from all of them are from the one or other catering college. So they have given name to that, and you will find that if you go to any hotel, you will find the most of the people who are working at the top level in the hotel, especially in the kitchen, they are from the hotel management background only, or from hospitality institutes. Same way in the room division, that is front office or housekeeping and F&B service, because earlier it was thought that the person who are working in the food production department will always remain in the kitchen. But that concept had been changed. Now the chef is coming regularly to the restaurant, to the banquet, meeting with the guests, understanding what are the requirement of guests, talking to the guests, and good number of people who started from the food production become the executive chef, now the general manager, even vice president of the hotel. So that kind of boundaries which was there earlier, food production, F&B service, room division, all these are now very thin boundaries. So because if you are going to be the maybe when you reach to the senior level, you need to have the knowledge of all the department. So institutions, basically all these institutions are giving a shape to the personality of the individual. So as we say, if you have a right kind of attitude for working this industry, 25% of thing has been done. If you have a right attitude, then you will develop your personality, you will improve your communication, you will have a proper knowledge, and develop your skill by doing and repeating the work, or repeating the practical that you are doing. So that give you a complete personality when you are going to the hotels. Because when we ask the student, it will do a fair analysis of yourself. If you are in second year and third year, you think, stand in front of the mirror, you think you are a person who is a selector. Are you going to select yourself for the job that you are expecting? So half of them will see that if they do it a honest observation, they will find they need to develop themselves in the field of attitude, personality, or communication, or the knowledge and skill. So we always say to the student that these 3 years are basically years of investment. You have to invest in your personality, your knowledge and skill. Try to gain maximum what you can. And therefore, you see in NEP, the new education policy, it may be in every sphere, the UGC and you can say the government has said, AICT has also said that the internship is a very valuable input, and it should be given not only one time in a 3 year or 4 year, it should be given in small pieces, three times at least. One is the entry level, other one is at this little bit supervisory level, third one is the managerial level. So when the person complete the program, he should have the right input of the industry requirement for all these cadres. We have the students who has been selected by leading 3 or 4 hotel management chain as a management training. We have the student who have been selected by supervisor. We have the student who has been selected at entry level. And we also have the student who has not been selected by anyone. At least no one come to the institute to get failed. Everyone come to the institute with high hope, but in between something is lost and they could not able to focus on their studies, their personality and other thing. And finally, they landed up without job or at the entry level job. And those who are very calculative, who are working hard on all these factors, they have been taken as a management training, not by 1, by 2, or by 3 or more companies. So, and companies are running behind them that he should join the industry, his company. So therefore, it's up to the student. We are there to help the student. Industry is there to help the student while they are in IT. But ultimately, it is the student who has to prove themselves, who has to come forward, who has to show the keenness of learning. And once all these things are there, the students are aware about that. You see, we always say the role model of the student is the IIM, what they are doing there. In those 2 years have shaped their career in such a way that they earn lakhs of rupees in the next 30, 40 years. So if they can work hard, so our student can also work hard, and our faculty is always and must be ready to give them their best and shape their career. Every individual is different. So that's why we say the number of students in a class should be limited, because it's a personalized education. It's not the BA, BSc or BCom in general, where the 150 or 200 students are there in the class. Less number of students with personalized training, with 100% dedication and devotion, and rightful and intelligent intervention in between by the faculty will definitely shape the career personality of the student, and they will be able to get confidence and will be able to get a good job in the industry and serve the industry in better manner.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your insight and the detailed information that you have given to us. And I'm pretty sure that students, especially those who are watching us, they will get to know about this thing, and they will gain some insight and will definitely develop the skills and mindset for this particular industry. Once again, thanks for coming to our platform, and we are intended to you that you have given your valuable time to us. And my dear audience, with this, we are coming to the end of this particular webinar, and we will be meeting you tomorrow at the same time with new speaker and a new concept. And Shri Arun Singh, sir, on behalf of all of us, the people, those who are watching us live, and from the team, we sincerely say a big thanks to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you. Say thanks to Gulshan sir for giving me chance to come on this